Let's say you invested $100,000 in an investment. And let's say that that investment lost 10%. That means you would have $90,000 left in your investment. What would happen if that investment gained 10% back? Most of you probably just answered $100,000, but the actual answer is $99,000 because this $90,000 has to earn 10% on the $90,000, which would only get us to $99,000. Had I asked you if we had $90,000 and we earned 10%, most of you would say $99,000. But when I ask it this way, our brains are wired to say we go back to $100,000 because your brain sees a 10 here and a 10 here. It's the same trick we used to use at church camp. We'd ask the campers, how many animals did Moses take on the ark? And they'd all say 2. And we would immediately say, it was Noah, silly. Had I asked them who took the animals on the ark, most of them would say Noah. But because they heard ark, their brains automatically said 2. This is how our brains work with investments. We forget about negative deviation. You have to work harder to get back to the average. The greater the loss, the greater the return you have to get. So for example, if we lost 50%, you would need 100% gain to get back to even. In other words, you'd have to double your money just to get back to even. When you invest your money in the markets, they go up and they go down. So you have to use a reasonable assumption to account for those losses. So if a market averaged 8% on calendar year returns, you may want to use a 6% number for your future value calculation. Since a future value calculation is assuming you get 6% every single year. This negative deviation concept is compounded when you start taking an income. We call this income drag. Let's take our earlier example. And let's say we invested $100,000 in that same investment and we lost that same 10%. But we're also taking a 4% income stream, which means we just lost 14% from our investment, which means our investment is now worth $86,000. What do we need to get back to $100,000 or even? Well, if we did the math between 86,000 and 100, that means you need a 16% gain to get back to even. However, we're still taking our $4,000 income, which is now greater than 4% of our portfolio. If you do all the math, with taking that income stream, you would need a 22% gain to get back to even. So your buddy over here that has the exact same investment, but is not taking an income, he would have recovered from his 10% loss with just under a 12% gain. But you, on the other hand, because you're taking an income, need a 22% gain because of your income stream. This is why a lot of people take less risk when they get closer to taking an income, and why you may want to use different return assumptions for different stages of your plan.